Our body has, via evolution, modified or adapted itself to recruit various types of nerve fibers for different types of needs of the body. So it's not like all fibers are myelinated or all fibers are unmyelinated to meet a specific purpose. Myelinated nerve fibers are faster in transmitting signals because of something called saltatory conduction, and these are obviously helpful in transmitting sensory stimuli or fast stimulus or signals that receive immediate attention. So what is saltatory conduction? So saltatory conduction is a transmission of the action potential along the myelinated axon via almost like as if it's like jumping along the nodes of an wire. So ultimately it helps in faster transmission of the signal from the dendrite till the end of the axon. Say suppose this is a classical unmyelinated nerve fiber, and these are the various ion channels through which there is a constant exchange of energy, which is ultimately loss of energy, as a signal gets transmitted from the dendron till the end of the axon. So this goes over or gets transmitted along a length lambda. So this length constant lambda has an inverse relation with the axonal resistance per unit length of the axon. So for an unmyelinated nerve fiber, the resistance offered by the axon per unit length is obviously far greater than it would have been for a myelinated nerve fiber because of the presence of ample number of ion channels along the length of the axon, and due to this there is sufficient energy loss or signal loss across the axon. So there is one thing we can conclude, that effective signal transmission or fast signal transmission happens in myelinated nerve fibers because myelination lowers the effective resistance of the axon towards the signal that it's transmitting. However, the presence of the myelin sheath provides an external resistance to the losses that occur along the nerve fiber. Hence, there is net effective increased resistance but with minimal loss of energy of the signal. However, as the distance between the positive and negative charges on either side of the membrane, that is the extracellular and intracellular fluids, is ultimately increased because of the presence of the myelin sheath, the capacitance of the membrane is ultimately decreased. So we can say that due to a decreased membrane capacitance, increased membrane resistance and decreased axonal resistance, the only places from where the energy loss occurs or signal loss occurs in myelinated nerve fiber are the regions where the axon is devoid of the myelin sheath, that are the nodes of Van Weyr, and whereas in a unmyelinated nerve fiber it happens throughout. So the effective signal transmission is much more in a myelinated nerve fiber. So there is a relation between the length constant and the myelin sheath diameter as well as the axonal and membrane resistances. And the speed of the signal is directly proportional to the length constant divided by the time constant, and hence conduction via myelinated nerve fibers is much faster compared to unmyelinated nerve fibers. Another thing, the time constant is given by membrane capacitance into membrane resistance, so which is ultimately constant because of the inverse changes in both. And as the length constant increases with myelination, so does the speed of transmission. So transmission via myelinated nerve fibers is much faster compared to unmyelinated nerve fibers.